All right. So, as I like to say with these things, as long as everything is working the way that it needs to be working, we are now live. So, hello and welcome to everyone who is watching the Written Melanin channel. Wherever this day may have found you, I'm so glad that you are here. My name is Chelsea, better known as CM Lockhart, and I'm here with the one, the only, the amazing Audra Russell from Between the Reads podcast, and we are here to bring some melanin to your pages. So,
for the final time.
For the final time. So if you guys did not read the title of this or have not been hanging around, this is the series finale of the Melanin Chat. So for this foreseeable future, this is the last time we're going to be live streaming on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But who knows what the future holds? Who knows? Who knows? But for now, this is goodbye. So long, farewell to you, my friends. Do y'all know Out of the Box?
I thought you were doing the Sound of Music. I was getting ready to say, so long, farewell, I'll be there saying goodbye.
Adieu to you and you and your.
Yeah. Yep. See?
I've seen that movie a lot. That's my mom's favorite movie. I have seen it multiple times. And I need to tell you that as a child, I was absolutely flabbergasted that we had a DVD with an intermission in the middle. I was like, what is an intermission? And then my parents were like,
why is this a long ass movie?
It is. And they were like, well, basically, when you used to go to the movies, and if after a certain point, when the movie got long enough, they put an intermission in the movie so you can go to the bathroom and not miss anything. And I'm like, but it's a DVD, you guys. And they were like, yeah, but they didn't change. I was like, you know what?
No, they didn't. And that's a good stopping point if you need to pause the DVD because you got to refresh your stuff.
You know what?
Refill your soda, your beverage, your libations. Get you something to eat.
It threw me as a child, but you know what? It has nothing on Gone with the Wind, which is on a DVD with an intermission, and it has 2 discs. Yeah. I was like, you know, this movie's too long. This movie is too long. I have to sit through an intermission, and then I have to get up and change the disc to finish it. How long is this movie? It's like 5 hours. I couldn't. But hello to everyone who's here. Margaret, Benjamin, Portia, DL White, Roussel, Amanda, Read Love Listen, Alexis. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to hang out with us. And as Benjamin pointed out, although this is the last Melanin Chat for a while, we do have the Discord server. So if you would like to hang out with us in the meantime, in between time, you can join our Discord server. It's $5 to get in, and it supports the Melanin Library to make sure it remains a free resource. And you get to talk to us. I mean, like, what else do you want? What else do you want?
I'm gonna miss hearing you say library. I really am.
Well, I'm still gonna be bothering you, so I can say it for you every day if you want. I can record it. You can wake up to it as a ringtone. Time to go to the library, Audra.
Don't play, because I sure enough will have you record it and send it to me and put it right on my phone.
Look, I got a little mic. I got you. Put a little background music to it.
Say it. Don't play.
Look. Okay. I love the intermissions on my parents' VHS movies, and it's my favorite part of plays. Not the intermission being your favorite part.
Right. I was looking at that like not the play itself, just the intermission. Okay.
I love that.
Kind of like people who say that like the trip itself isn't the best part. It's like preparing for it and getting ready to go. Like, okay, well.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. Like, especially like road trips and stuff, I feel like the best part of a road trip is actually being on the road and not the actual destination. I will say that. I'm definitely one of those people. When I'm with fun people. Now, if I'm ready to get out of the car, no. No. But for the most part, we're having like a good time. Yeah, the trip is, the road trip, the journey is the best part of it. Right. But, yeah.
Got you.
So, that being said, Ash is here as well. Hello, Ash. Welcome to the chat.
Ash. Good day.
Good day to you.
Top of the morning to ya. It's probably a different dialect. I don't know. Whatever.
I just want to know what time zone you're in. At what point is it morning? It's like 4:00 in the afternoon.
It's morning somewhere.
Is it though? Is it?
Yes, somewhere in the world it is morning. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Ask Google where it's.
I will not.
Right now. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Where is it morning right now?
Okay. I love the place, but it's fun to see the actors, the people you meet in the ladies' rooms, just the overall experience. Of course, I love the play. I love how you go to meet people in the bathroom. That's awesome. That's a wonderful experience.
Hey,
look,
you know,
I'm not judging you because last time I went to a play, I was like 16 and I almost threw hands with a little 5-year-old in front of me because she was looking at me funny because I cried when Mufasa died because my aunt sent me to go see The Lion King. And I was like, look, ma'am, turn your little self back around, mind your business. Okay? It's Mufasa, you little heartless brat. Okay? How you not shed a tear when Mufasa died? Huh? Huh? Don't look at me crazy because I got culture. Okay?
You gonna be all right?
Oh, I'm fine. I have culture. I grew up perfectly fine. But it's weird to think that child is now a fully grown adult with the way time works. And it's just like, wow. Okay. I hope you learned some culture between now and then. I hope. She seemed like the type of person who was going to say that the live action Lion King was better than the original Lion King. And you know what? I just don't see people like that being successful in life. I don't know.
Ha! It's morning in Papit.
Where is that?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
You don't have like a country?
Papit is French Polynesia. On the island of Tahiti. There you go.
Tahiti. That's a real place. Never knew that. Okay.
Yep.
I thought it was just in Moana.
It's
that was actually a good movie. I love it when she's like, I am Moana. That's my favorite song. I'd be jamming to that when I'm having a bad day. Yeah, that's my uplift. I got like a whole Disney soundtrack from when I'm having a bad day.
I did not make that up, Ben. Papit is a real place. I looked it up on Google.
She said she made it up.
It's on Google. Papit. I did the world clock and looked for places where it was morning, and Papit came up.
Well, D.L. White and Alexis also said that in Asia and Korea, it's also morning. So
see, I like saying Papit. 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 It sounds like a bird. Papit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm a Papit bird. Papit. Papit.
And I love how Reed Lovelison is just like, she just a walking secret vault. Like, she'd be out there getting her popcorn and people just be spilling their business unprovoked.
Right? like her aura is a truth serum and just people succumb to this.
That's fine. That's fine. But
Ben Googled it. Shut up.
I mean, could have made it up. You wouldn't know because you Googled it.
Tahiti is a real place.
Okay,
so.
I believe you. Look, I am the most geographically challenged person in the world. I am not going to argue with you. I will accept it as fact. I'm even going to believe it's a real place. I believe
Asia
is a real
is
place.
Real, and DL said it's morning in Asia, so top of the morning to you.
Anyway. Our Melanin Spotlights for today, in case you guys have not noticed, are our own books, just in case, in the future you want to come back and remember who wrote that book? It was us. So we're going to tell you about our books today for the Melanin Spotlight. And if you haven't, go ahead and tell a friend about it. Support an indie author, Black indie author. So, Audra, would you like
Don't
to
tell nobody about my books because I just dropped it.
She can't even get out that untruth. Tell people about her book because she's re-releasing it next year and it's going to be amazing.
But don't tell nobody about it right now because they can't go buy it right now. How am I supposed to get my book off the floor?
I don't know. That sounds like a personal problem. I don't know how to help you.
It's not on Amazon or anything for me to.
Not yet. Not yet. So just so you guys know, while she's trying to get her book off the floor, I am helping Audra to re-release her book. So Bloodland is going to be coming at you in 2023 with a new cover, fresh edits, fresh story, fresh everything.
And yes, DL, an ebook. So don't even fix your little fingers to type it.
It will have an ebook. It will have an ebook, and it's going to be in either probably paperback. Paperback, right? Paperback, hardback, paperback. Paperback. So we're going to get it right. We're going to get it straight. So the link down in the description box below is going to take you to the Melanin Library for Audra's book. So just make sure to check that regularly, because when it goes on sale, the Melanin Library is going to be the first place where it's updated. So there you go. I thought ahead. Wanted y'all to be proactive, so when you come back here in a year, the link still works. So that being said, you can also get my book. I sell my book direct, so the link down there is going to take you to my website. But my book is like literally everywhere, so just like wherever you feel comfortable getting your books at. But if you get it from me, you'll be supporting me directly. I get to keep all the change. So there we go.
Oh, this ebook. God.
Anyway, Audra, please tell the people about your book.
Okay, I'm going to read from the back of it.
Okay.
I may end up rewriting the synopsis too. But sometimes history can't stay in the past. Paul and Teresa Simmons, a young African-American couple, are the new owners of a former plantation in Maryland and feel proud to have taken back some of the lands Africans and blacks were enslaved on. Teresa is pregnant with their first child, and everything is falling into place. Teresa soon begins hearing and seeing strange things she can't explain, and they are taking their toll on the health of her and her unborn child. Paul wants to sell the house and save his wife's life. Teresa wants to dig deeper into the past of the former plantation because she knows the answer to what is happening lies in the history of the old home. The more she digs, the more conflict she has with her husband, her mother, and the apparition itself. This turf war has gone on for centuries, but now it's time for the showdown. Family secrets will be revealed, wrongs will be righted, reparations will be made. This is Bloodland.
All right, you guys. So be excited for it. It is coming to you 2023. So yeah, I'm excited. And I've read it multiple times, you guys. So also that says something about it. Just throwing that out there.
I'm really honored that she did. I was like, oh.
So that being said, that brings you up to my book. And I have told y'all about this book a gazillion hundred times, and I'm going to continue to tell you about it a gazillion hundred more times. Just in case somebody's new is listening and ain't never heard of it. My name is Chelsea. I go by CM Lockhart online, and this is my book, We Are the Origin. It's the first book in a fantasy series about a group of assassins who have to save the gods and their realm from destruction. It's available in paperback, hardback, and an audiobook is coming soon. So, get it in whatever format makes you happy, makes your tummy tickle.
Tell them about your interview, please, before you read your promo.
Yes, I will actually have the pleasure of being interviewed by Resist Booksellers this Thursday at 7 p.m. on Crowdcast. So I will be posting it on my personal Twitter and social media accounts tomorrow. But if you guys follow Resist Booksellers, they already have a link. You can go to Crowdcast and find it there. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. D.L. White already had an interview with them, which was also amazing. So for sure, be sure to check them out. They are a Black-owned indie bookstore. So, I mean, y'all know, y'all are here, so we know what we do around these parts. So check them out.
Yep.
But yeah, so this is my book. I'm going to read it from the back. Oh, go ahead. She's got something else to add.
No, I was gonna say, and if you order from them, like as long as the order gets in by noon, I think it's out by 5. So I've actually gotten books faster from them than I get from Amazon.
Okay, all right. So
yeah.
So y'all already know what to do. And if you get it from an indie bookseller, I also support that because they also pay full price for my books. So if you don't want to get it from me directly, you want to get it from a bookstore, get it from indie bookstore, request it from your library because they do pay full price for the book. So either way, it works for me. It really does. But what is my book about? Let's see here. Forced into a life of serving the queendom before she was old enough to deny them, Brandy was a cultivator of death in the queen's own blade, reserved only for the disloyal and the blasphemous. Crafted by the queendom and forged in blood, she was nothing more than a tool. She was never meant to have an opinion on whose blood she shed, never meant to question whose back she was pressed into or whose throat she was slipped across. But when Freya, the goddess of life and judger of souls, demands that she protect rather than destroy, Brandy has no choice but to obey her new orders. And while abandoning the queendom comes with its own set of problems, being hunted by the people she once called family is the least of her worries when the gods reveal to her an enemy who exists beyond the reach of their power. So, with the helpless princess in tow, she begins her search for a way to fight this impossible enemy and save the realm from destruction, because she is the wrath of the gods, and it was foolish for anyone to forget that. So, this is book 1. I'm currently working on book 2, which will be called We Are the Rebellion. That will be coming in 2023 as well. So if you like fantasy, you like black people, you like assassins, get into it.
It's a great book.
I think it's pretty good, but I'm biased.
I mean, I liked it so much I played Brandy, so.
Yeah, so check out the last stream if you guys missed that. But, oh, also, if you order from me, you do get this nice little map with it that comes with it. So yeah, if you like fantasy, all that good stuff, you got options. And the limited edition will be coming by the end of the year, which I'm really excited for too. So the limited edition is for my grown folk who are like, oh, this is great, but I kind of wanted the sex scenes. So the limited edition is coming at the end of the year. I've been told that the scenes are good, but take it for what you will. Read the book, buy the book. And it will have its own unique cover and its own unique character art beneath the cover. So get into it. I've seen it. It's great. It's so pretty. It's cute. Is Jack and Brandy. So there you go. But that being said, discussion points for today. We didn't really have any, so we're really just rolling on vibes here, you guys. But that being said, today is November 1st, which means today is officially the first day of NaNoWriMo 2022. So, of you guys who are watching, how many of you are participating? And how many of you are, like, sticking to the rules of it? And then how many of you are, like, just using it to get stuff done? I'm curious.
Well, for me, I'm starting to look through the edits that you did and work on that. So that's going to be my NaNoWriMo. Mm-hmm. So
also, I need y'all to know that Audra mentioned it. I don't do edits for other people anymore. It has come up a couple of times across the interwebs. I only do edits and give you feedback if I really like you.
I begged her to do my edits for me.
Yeah, we gotta be friends. Like, you gotta know, like, my middle name and how to get in touch with my husband in order to get me to do edits for you, because that's not something I do.
I don't know your middle name, so.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. We talked about it when the case was still on the show.
I don't remember then. Forgot. My brain don't keep stuff.
Okay, well, I can't announce it on the internet since I just put stipulations on it. So I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later.
Portia says she's doing Nana and using it to get draft 3 of Medusa Untold. Ooh.
Okay. And Deja said that she's not officially participating, but hoping to get a lot done. That is the boat that I'm currently in. I want to use November to...
Want to use?
I
want to use November's.
Leave me alone, ma'am. I'm trying. Okay.
November's to get this work done.
I want to get 2 projects done. Not like done, but like major headway. First one is We Are the Rebellion. I want to get as much as I possibly can written in that as I can. So if you guys are in the Discord, I am going to be sprinting basically every day of November, probably around 1:00. So if you're free or you want to write with me, that's probably what I'm going to be writing. I'm probably also going to try to get sprints in the evening, maybe late at night, like late at night. If you guys want to write with me, just because I need to get the words in. And the time between 4:00 and like 8, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't finna do nothing. I'm not. I'm like gonna walk my dog and eat dinner and watch TV. But after that, we can be productive. So, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, there's your incentive to do so. But working on
Ben
that.
being funny, talking about your middle name starts with an M.
Shocker. I mean, I could have a pen name. You never know. I tried to have a pen name. It didn't work out well, though. Did not work out well. It's very difficult to run a business on the internet and have a pen name. Just so y'all know. But the other project that I'm working on is a new project that I've mentioned on here a couple of times before. But it's about a necromancer, and I've been like kind of going back and forth with Amanda because she's my critique partner, and I'm just kind of like, yeah. So this is what it's gonna be. This is what it's gonna be. So I want to get as much of that written as well as I possibly can.
Nice.
But yeah, me being ambitious means that inevitably I'm going to fail at something, but hopefully I will fail well enough that it will still be productive. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Hey, as long as you're trying, that's all that matters.
Right. Let's see here. Ash writes lot said, I am sticking to the rules this year. So okay. Apparently it's 50,000 words. For some reason, I was under the impression that it was 40,000 words to win Nano. 50,000 words to win Nano.
50. Yep.
So
50K.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Possibly. Hopefully. Good luck. I'm wishing everyone the best of luck. Everyone the best of luck. Amanda says she's doing it, but in her own way, really just focus on writing each day. And I think that's also the point where I'm at, just like getting as much done as possible, because when I was writing We Are the Origin, I was just like clickety, clackety, 3,000 words, 5,000 words, just knocking it out. And I sat down to write this week, and I was just like, ooh, 200 words. Okay, that's progress. I was just like, I need to get back into the practice. I'm out of practice.
I mean, 200 words is 200 more words than you had before, so hey.
You know what? That's how I took it, but also, she got to do better. She's got to do better. Do you know how long it's going to take me to write this book if I'm only writing 200 words in a sitting?
Listen, some days it just doesn't come to you. When I was writing Bloodland.
Yeah, some days have been lining up like every day, and I'm going to need it to not be that. Personally.
You just need a little break, that's all.
See, the problem is I took a break. The problem is coming back from break. That's the problem. But we're going to get it work out. It's okay. And be positive about it.
Look, I still got my green nails and my little skeleton.
I love it. Alexa said, I don't think I'm going to participate, but I'm thinking I might use it to get to type up some writings I have handwritten. Okay, that works. And yes, necromancers. Sometimes 200 words feels like 2,000. Honestly, y'all. Yeah. I don't know. It's this weird in-between space. It's like I'm not disappointed with myself, but it's just like, I know I can do better. I can do this. So, that's where we're at. But, also, start in November, and I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about it. Elon Musk now officially owns Twitter. How do y'all feel about that? And the fact that apparently to be verified, they're going to start charging $20 a month to be verified on Twitter. No opinion, Audra?
I mean, I don't know. I have to, because Elon is not the type of person that lets anybody tell him what to do. So in that way, maybe Black people won't be silenced for speaking out about things and defending themselves on things. Maybe it'll actually be a platform where you have the freedom to speak your mind, which that has pros and cons, because white people gonna white. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Time will tell, I guess.
That's what I'm.
I'm not paying $20 to get verified for nobody. I know who the hell I am. I'm not gonna pay for your little blue check. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. No. I'm definitely not gonna pay for a blue check mark. I thought it was interesting because, like, I know that Twitter needs to make money, and they've been rolling out different features that you can pay for, like gradually anyway. But I'm also just kind of like, I'm curious where it will go, because like over the course of time, I feel like Twitter is really the only social media platform that has been consistent since social media was a thing. Like, it was big when Facebook was big. It was big when Instagram is big. It's still big now that TikTok is big. Like, it's been consistent in every era of social media. And now I'm wondering what it's going to look like, and if it's going to continue to be consistent, or if it's going to be like the rest of them and then like start following trends and start pitting out, you know, like policies and things that where people are just like, yeah, I don't want to use it anymore. And then it kind of falls into that wave where it's just like, yeah, I used to use it. I had an account, but I don't use it anymore. You know, I'm just.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I get the feel from Eli, like he's like, you know, he's not that type of person, but I don't know. Because, you know, I mean, he's always pushed the envelope and done things outside the box. That's how he got to be who he is. But we'll see. We'll see. But I'm still stuck on Amanda's comment, because she said he fired all his top level execs and dissolved the board. But then she said, I know my old coworkers at Twitter. You used to work for Twitter.
Yeah, she mentioned it in the Discord. See, this is the problem, Audra. You got to be reading up. You got to stay on top of things.
I try, but I also, things don't stay up here. I told you that. I read a book, and then it's like, once the next book starts getting read, it falls out my head.
And, you know, we did have a conversation about that. And I was talking to Ben about that earlier, too, where it's just like, the reason I'm so picky with books is because it stays in my mind, and it becomes part of that conglomerate of things that I pull from when I'm actually writing. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be a crappy writer. So if your book's not good, I'm not going to read it. I don't need to pull that from my bag of tricks. It does not need to go in the bag of tricks, you know? So we're just going to leave that where I left it at. No. So
nice, Amanda. A contractor there for 6 months. Was it fun? Did you like working there?
I guess it doesn't matter because it's not the same anymore. It's a completely new experience.
I've just always wondered what it would be like to work at some place like Twitter or Google or something like that.
I feel like it could be interesting, but I also feel like it's not as fun as they make it look on the on like TV shows and stuff like that. Because
probably not.
I always think about like the brief time I watched like The Bold Type on Hulu, and there were like these women working at a magazine. I was like, ooh, that looks so fun. I was like, that's probably not as fun as it actually is. It's probably a lot more boring in real life.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like when you see high school on TV and you're like, man, these people never go to class. And you get to high school and you're always in class and you never get to talk to your friends. And you're like TV lights.
Ain't nobody singing like on the break and dancing off picnic tables and all that.
Not like, you quoting High School Musical.
I'm just saying. My daughter used to watch High School Musical all the time. And when she was little, she's like, I can't wait till I get to high school. I was like, let me tell you something.
It's a scam. It's a lie.
That
Don't believe
not
it.
What they do in high school, okay?
It's really not. It's really not.
And then I was homeschooling her. So then she was like, you know, because we would do activities and stuff outside the home to make sure that, you know, they still interacted with other kids and stuff like that. But I was like, well, you know, the good thing about homeschool, I was like, you could dance and jump off the couch and like have a whole musical moment. And she just gave me this look like.
It's not the same. Not the same.
But I'm just saying, you can't do that. You wouldn't be able to do that at a high school, a regular high school. I'm just saying.
I mean, honestly, at least if you're homeschooled, you don't have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom and then be denied. There's also that, I guess. I don't know. Let's not talk about school. School is such a negative connotation for me all the way around. I'm just saying. It's one of those things where I don't think it's as amazing as it looks on TV.
Do you ever feel like you feel a moment when your hair grows like just a second, like it comes out of your head because like you feel something tickle your head and you know there's nothing there, and I swear to you that's like when your hair just like goes whoop, it comes out of your head, like that moment when you catch that rare moment when a little seedling you plant just bursts out of the soil. I feel like that's what that is.
See, the problem is you're trying to make a connotation with me for something that involves the outdoors, and I just don't have those memories to pull from. I don't do dirt. I don't do plants. I don't do bugs. I don't do fresh air like that unless it's coming through a window. It's not my thing.
Okay. Well, you ever just get like a tickle in your scalp? I swear that's just like your little hair just growing just a little bit, just like pops out. I know because I just had the tickle and I was just like thinking, and we're just talking random shit today. So, anyway.
Anywho. Oh crap. I've completely lost my train of thought, you guys. I am so sorry. Ooh, excuse me.
I have. Oh, you know what? I had 212 downloads of my podcast last week. I normally get between 40 and 60.
Hey, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I was like, what you say, Buzzsprout? Sent me the email. I was like, I even wrote to them, was like, is this a mistake? They were like, they laughed. They were like, no, those are your stats. I was like, wow.
That's cool.
And I'm like really international, like people in Africa, like all over, even like some remote parts of the world are like getting my podcast. There's only one download in those remote parts, but it's there. Like I'm truly international.
I love that for you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Congratulations, ma'am. And if you guys haven't, y'all should definitely be listening to Audra's podcast. First of all, she is hella consistent, so for sure check it out for that reason alone. But it's also really good, and she interviews authors, and the way she interviews authors, y'all, she makes them feel, okay, I'm speaking from my own experience. She makes you feel really comfortable, and she actually reads the book, so she knows what she's talking about, and the interviews are actually really in-depth. So if you guys have not listened to any episode of Between the Reads, you absolutely should. If you want to listen to it on YouTube, then you should do that. Whatever makes you happy. But the link to her YouTube channel is in the header, the title. Ooh, excuse me. The title of this episode. So for sure, check it out. And also, I've been on her podcast twice. So if you want to hear us kiki and ha and you haven't listened yet, that's a good place to start. But yeah. Relive Listen
true story. Read It Black to Me came out of the fact of our first interview together. That's where the idea came from.
You're right.
Because that's what I named the episode. And I was like,
Look at us. Been inspiring people since 2019. Look at that.
Just saying.
Okay. Relive Listen said, what do we think about the DOJ ruling over Penguin Random House and Simon Schuster? I have not heard about it. What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
I knew that they were going to trial to try to like prevent the merger. Did they prevent the merger or did it go through? I haven't been keeping up with it. I ain't gonna lie. I've been in my own little world.
I didn't even know there was a thing going on.
Well, I knew that they were basically, the Department of Justice was saying that they did not want Penguin Random House and Simon & Schuster to basically combine into like one publishing house. Because I think Penguin was trying to buy Simon & Schuster or something like that.
Looks like from the headlines they blocked it. Okay.
Honestly, I think in the scheme of things, I think that's a really good thing. Honestly, okay, so I'm gonna preface everything that I'm about to say with a couple of caveats. One, I did not keep up with this, so this is not factual at all. This is all opinion, okay? First things first. Second of all, I don't care. I really don't care nothing about traditional publishing because that's not my life. That's not my calling. That's not my truth. So I wasn't gonna be worried about anybody buying my book anyway. So with those two things out of the way, my opinion is kind of like what D.L. White just said. It would create a monopoly in one big publishing house. And I don't think that's good. That's not good for competition. That's not good for people trying to sell books. That's not good for people trying to purchase books. And basically, it's like, I don't know if anyone has ever been to North Carolina, but the best way I can think of it is like in North Carolina, there's only one electrical company, and that's Duke Energy. You don't have any competition. So whatever they say the rate is for the electricity, you have to pay it. You can't be like, oh, well, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go get a different company to pay. There's no competition, and without competition, there's nothing to drive the prices down. And it's the same way with books. And it's also like with books, a lot of times, especially with like larger books or whatever, they go to auction. And it's just kind of like, if a company wants to purchase a book, it makes it a lot more difficult when you have to go to auction and you know that, okay, my budget, let's just say my budget is like $1,000, but you know that the person sitting next to you has a budget of $10,000. It kind of makes you not even want to go into bidding, because it's just like, if they really want to outbid me, they can. And there's no point in even competing at this point, because it's not a competition. It's like a grown adult playing soccer with a 5-year-old and keeping score. Like, that's not even on the same playing field, you know? So, and then it would also limit what authors could negotiate for, because it's just kind of like, if this one company isn't going to give you the money that you're looking for, there's absolutely no way that any of these other companies are going to do that, you know? So, yeah. And I feel like that would also lead to more people falling through the cracks, because like already there are so many authors talking about how they don't get the marketing budget and they don't get the support that they need. And they're like they've been, picked up by an agency or a publishing house, but they don't have any support. I feel like, excuse me. I feel like if it's even bigger, you would have more stories like that. But, so I'm glad that the judge prevented it personally.
Yeah. Yep. Because, it would just spell, like you said, it would just spell bad news for us.
Yeah.
Those of us who want to go that route.
Yeah. And what got me about this whole thing, because I kept up with it that one day where I guess this one reporting company, they had somebody there who was like live tweeting what was going on and who was there. I kept up with it that day. Apparently, there are some traditionally published authors who only sell 12 books through traditional channels. Like literally a dozen books. The entire life of the book, they sell 12. It's somehow they are traditionally published. And I'm just kind of like, how, Sway? How? And you know what? Can I give y'all a controversial opinion? Is that okay, since this is the last Melanin Chat?
It's your channel. Why are you asking folks for permission?
It's a rhetorical question. It was just to build hype. Like, instead of being like, give me a drum roll, it was a rhetorical question. You're supposed to be like, what is it, Chelsea?
There's your drum roll.
She didn't even ask me, y'all. I just wanted her to ask me, what's the controversy?
What's the controversy, ma'am?
Thank you.
Tell us.
Finally. Okay. My controversial opinion is that I feel like being indie is better than traditional anyway, and I feel like it's going to continue to be that in the future, because honestly, with everything that's going on within traditional publishing, at this point, I don't even see what the point of going traditional is. Like, I feel like in the very, very near future, the weight and the flex that is being like, oh, I'm traditionally published isn't even going to be there. It's going to be like, oh, you're traditionally published. It's like kind of like when someone says, oh, you can friend me on Facebook. Okay, cute. Do you have a TikTok? I feel like that's going to be the same way, the same thing. Like, oh yeah, I'm signed to Simon & Schuster. Cute. Do you sell your books direct?
Why? On purpose?
Like you agreed to that? Oh.
Did somebody put a gun to your head? Do you owe somebody a favor? I mean, does somebody have some dirt on you? What is going on?
Like, what happened? But the reason I feel that way is because, in truth, right, at one point in time, and I'll just say early 2000s, right, because I can't really go beyond that. My memory's not there. But early 2000s, right, the appeal of being traditionally published was awareness. Your book is in bookstores. You have a marketing team. Social media is not a thing yet, so your book is in newspapers. You're getting on TV. You're getting in front of people, and it's just one of those things where it's just like you have to go through this route in order for people to even find your books, because the internet isn't a really big thing just yet where you can find any and everything on it, right? But fast forward to 2022, going into 2023, honestly and truly, what does a publishing company have to offer you that you honestly and truly can't do yourself, that you also aren't going to be required to do yourself anyway. Because scrolling Twitter, I love following traditionally published authors because they be spelling the tea. And I'm just kind of like, oh, you signed up for this willingly? Okay, that's cute. That's smart. You didn't read any contract before you put your name on it, did you? And there are some people who have a social media clause in their contract saying that they have to be active on social media in order to keep their publishing contract. Imagine that. Imagine signing a contract that says you have to basically be active on social media to market your own books. Otherwise, your agent's going to drop you.
I'd do you one better. A lot of times agents won't even touch you, and they won't even, you can't even think about publishing traditionally if you don't already have the established platform.
That's true, because when, part of the reason why on Twitter, I have roughly 1,500 followers on Twitter. A lot of those people I don't even interact with, but when I first got on Twitter, there were all these writer lists. And basically, that was just to flub the numbers so that people who are trying to get traditionally published could be like, oh, I have 10,000 followers on Twitter. And that was supposed to be like influential or something. But the thing about it is, like, it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 followers if only 3 people engage with your content. You're not marketing to anybody. You're marketing to an empty room, if people are just following you for the sake of following you. So that's why I stopped doing writer lists, and I don't like support a follow for follow, because there's definitely still some people who do that. And also keep in mind, it's against Twitter's terms and services. I don't know what they're going to be now that Elon Musk took over, but that was definitely against their terms and services that you agree to when you sign up to just follow people, follow for follow. So be wary of that.
And I don't like that, because people also they do that. They participate in that follow for follow, but then they unfollow you after you followed them. And like, I never got into the whole getting apps to see who unfollowed me, because I just don't want to put that kind of energy into it. But I think I did like one follow for follow once, and for podcasts, and because I have 2,600 something followers, and all of Blacktober Reads, every single post got no more than 20 likes. Most of them only got like between 12 and 13.
Yeah.
And I have 2,600 followers. And when I did my fundraiser, I was like, look, if all of my 2,600 followers just gave whatever X amount it was, I could get my studio.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not about the big numbers. I'm thankful for the people that consistently engage with my content.
Oh yeah, engagement is so much more important, and it's also kind of like from where I'm sitting at, it's just kind of like, if you have to market your own book and you have to create and curate your own engagement, and you have to write the book yourself, and your editor is going to do a low-key crappy job because they're overworked and underpaid, and you have no say in your cover, and your book isn't going to be in bookstores unless it's like pulling grand numbers, and they're not giving you a marketing team, and they're not giving you pre-order promotion, and you have to put together your own street team. What is the purpose of signing this contract and someone taking a portion of your cut of the royalties? Like, I seriously want to know, like, at this point, what are you getting from it? And especially, like, the other thing that's getting me is, like, for the publishing world, at least traditional publishing, they're letting TikTok, like, dictate which books will sell anyway. So it's just kind of like,
people just like to get off on the fact that they can say, I'm published, and, can quote some big house name. But it's just like, because there's still the stigma for a lot of people that, if you're self-published or indie published, that you did it because you didn't have the chops. And I'm like, y'all really need to stop thinking that, because a lot of people are just indie and self-publishing because they don't want to wait for somebody to tell them that their story is valid, and they don't want to wait years for their book to go on somebody's shelf. And since they've already done the research and found out, if I go traditionally published, I'm not going to get a big advance, especially if I'm a black person or another person of color, and y'all going to make me do all the footwork, but y'all going to take part of all the money I make? No, I'll just do it myself. But you have, so I'm just like, anybody that still has that mentality that, self-published, indie published is because they couldn't cut it. I'm like, then you haven't been paying attention. or doing any kind of research on the writing industry.
None, especially since traditional publishing follows the trend of indie and self-publishing. And I just find that to be interesting. Like, why follow the trend when you can be it, you know?
Right. Exactly.
It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I will always continue to be flabbergasted, but I'm also going to do a slight plug here where if you are thinking of being indie published and you would like my help with getting your book together, then for sure reach out to me. It's on my website, writtenmelanin.com, under the About section. Just check it out. I have coaching services where I'll talk you through how to put your book together from start to finish and things that you need to consider when you are thinking about publishing your book. I'm helping Audra with her book, and I have another client that I'm working with now who he seems to be having a positive experience. I can't tell you until he writes a testimonial, but
yay!
And then also I did my own book. So, and I did LaCase's book, Across the Broken Tide, if you guys are interested in that. And, you know, I got little tidbits that I drop on the podcast. So if you're interested, you know, hit a girl up. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I have very strong feelings about indie publishing. I just believe that if you're going to work that hard, you might as well make the most money of it. And I'm just like doing all of that and signing away everything for a little measly $5,000 advance that's broken up over 4 payments. Bruh, you can win more than that in a scratch off. And your odds are the same. Your odds are the same.
Yeah, nah, I'm good, homie.
Yeah. So. It's simple business. If the publishing deal isn't the best deal, it's just smarter to walk away and do your own thing. I don't know. And I'm wondering if people will start to see it differently, especially with Kindle Vella being more of a thing and being more accessible, and with Kindle obviously being what it is, and just people having more information in general. I'm just kind of curious to see what publishing is going to look like in another, 5 or 10 years, especially since this, like you said, this merger didn't go through. Because what that shows me is, like, when a company tries to buy another company, it's usually because one company is not doing as well as they thought they were going to be doing, or they're starting to go downhill. So I think it's interesting that it was 5 publishing companies, and then it went down to 4, and then they were trying to go down from 4 to 3, but that was blocked, obviously. But it's also kind of like, what's happening in publishing that's making it so that all of these companies need to, like, basically combine into one in order to survive? I don't know. I find that interesting,
because I think the indie numbers are much larger than they're letting on, and I think that the indie industry has made a big ding in their ability to do business. And I think you'll never know about that data because they're going to hide it, because if people found out, if there was data that proved that being indie is better and bigger, then those industries are going to fold. And the whole publishing industry itself is going to completely change. Because with the internet and people like you that can help people get a book out that looks just as good and most times better than what the traditional publishing industry is doing, and the covers, especially for Black people and other people of color, the covers actually, when we have control of them, they actually
reflect what's inside.
Exactly. With all of that going on, it trust me, it's affecting the traditional publishing industry, and they're just gonna fold.
Oh yeah. And I had 2 thoughts. The first one being, I also think the same thing, because on TikTok, because that's where I spend most of my time at now, a lot of people are actively looking for ways to support authors directly, because they know that there are more books out there than what the publishing industry is pushing them. And so whenever someone finds, like, my page or my side of TikTok or the Black side of Book Talk, they're always just like, oh my God, I did not know that these books were out there. And the same thing when they find Indie Book Talk, and it's just like, oh, y'all sell y'all books directly. Oh, I can support you directly. Like, I don't have to go through all these excess. I can, like, literally just buy your book and support you. And it's just like, yeah, that's the thing. More people are realizing that. And more people are A, telling people about it, and B, utilizing it and, like, that's their first option to see, can I buy the book direct from the author? And if I can't, then I will go look at other places. And I feel like that shift alone is major because, let me tell you, I love sending books out to people. Y'all, I ain't even gonna lie. It's my favorite thing in the world when I get that little email, be like, someone bought a book. Yes! Okay, great. I have to leave my house, but I'm going to do it with joy. Okay?
Right. Yep.
But the other reason why I think it's gonna fall is for the same reason that D.L. White just said. She just saw someone with a 2024 release date. It does not make sense for it to take that long for a book to come out. And I 100% agree. I think at most it takes somewhere between 6 to 8 months to put out a book. And that's one that is completely, the first draft is completely written. That's just editing, beta readers, promotion, release date, cover, yada, yada, yada. 6 to 8 months tops. There is no reason why in 2022 you have a 2024 release date. That's wild. What are you doing for 2 years? What are you doing for 2 years? Just sitting
down working on your next book, so that you can wait 4 years for that one to come out.
I get.
But when you're self-published or indie published, you can control your own release date.
Look, I love controlling my own release date because it's just like if I need to move it, I can, and I can make sure that it comes out on a day and time that is relevant to me, you know? But I digress.
DL said by the time the book comes out, I don't even know what's in it anymore. Right? You go to interviews, people like, well, how did you feel? How did you write your character? I did. I wrote that character. What? Oh, I don't know.
The other thing is just like there is such a thing as too much pre-promotion. Like if you announce your book, like imagine if I said, okay, we are the Rebellion, I'm working on it now, and then 2025 rolls around and I'm just like, great, We Are the Rebellion's now out. You're just like, I'm sick of hearing about this book, Chelsea. Okay?
Yeah, people are just like, it's like, look, I'm done.
There is a window of relevancy.
Yeah, especially if it's like, a trilogy or a duology or something like that. I mean, you only got a certain amount of time where people are just going to be like, yeah, whatever, okay.
Right, like I done forgot what happened in the first book. I'm not going to reread the first book, and so I'm not going to read the second book. Also, why I have pressure on myself to go ahead and get the second book out because I don't want nobody forgetting what happened in the first one, but that's just a personal problem. That's a personal problem. I recognize that.
You're funny.
But I just... Like I said, I don't know. It's wild being on the internet and seeing people talk about books and the way they interact because I'm just kind of like, I don't know. There are so many ways to go about using this tool of the internet and just being locked into this archaic method of, it's going to take 1.5 years before your book comes out. Your royalty payment's going to be broken up. Because here's the thing. When royalty payments were larger, I could understand it taking 4 installments to pay out. But if you're only getting $5,000, $7,000, bruh,
give it to me all in one chunk. Okay,
that's not even purchasing a new car. Not even.
That might be a down payment on a car.
Not a house.
Not a house, unless you're a first-time home buyer.
That's not even going to put a dent in your student debt. Okay.
Nope.
I'm just saying this idea of like writing a book and then just getting this large payout that's going to change your life is unrealistic at this point. It's just disrespectful.
Yeah. And like, with the advent of the internet, just like higher education has fallen by the wayside too, because people are just like, I'm not going to go into all that debt and y'all can't even promise me a job when I get out. And with the internet and with all the tools that you have access to on the internet, it's changing the way things are done.
Okay, so here's my unpopular take, and someone may be angry about it, but I'm not going to defend myself. I'm going to say what it is and I'm move on. I don't think everyone should go to college, and I'm not just saying that unless you want to be a doctor, lawyer, scientist, I don't think you need
something
to go to
that requires that kind of schooling. But other than that, like my youngest, my daughter did her 2 years at community college, and now she's going to flight school. My youngest, he's been working on, Google has this data science certificate, and he's been working on that because the community college, when we looked at the program for him because he wanted to learn Python, they're not even teaching Python in the computer science program. And I'm just like, and y'all call this up to date. So college is not for everybody. And honestly, trade schools, or you can learn for a lot of these fields, you can learn it online at Udemy or someplace like that for, like he's paying $40 a month for the data science certificate, and he's went through it, took him 8 months. He's done. Now he's looking for jobs.
Certificates, training, University of YouTube, Skillshare, Lynda, Udemy, whatever. There are so many ways to learn things and to be relevant, and they have actual courses that you can just take the relevant thing in versus paying for school. I don't support this idea in 2022. In 2022, going forward, I don't think you need a college education necessarily to be successful or to support yourself. I think it's a scam, but I digress. Trigger.
It is a scam. And most employers now, especially in the tech field, are saying we don't want the degree anymore. If you have the experience, if you know how to write program, all that, they're just saying we don't need the college degree. If you got experience, we will hire you. If you got the knowledge, we will hire you. So
it's like, do you have the skill set? That's what they're looking for. But,
because they even said that because I used to work as a career advisor, and they were saying these kids were coming out of college with degrees and no skill set. So,
oh yeah, for sure. I definitely fell into that box because it's just like college was an experience, but honestly, had I not been and gotten married from having gone to college, I would have considered a complete waste of time and just an accumulation of debt. Because I don't use my degree for anything, and nothing that I learned in college outside of the experience of working with other people in a semi-professional setting taught me absolutely nothing about what I do now.
Yep.
So, but that's a rant for another day. D.L. White mentioned people like publishers slapping an ugly cover on a book and making the characters white. And let me tell y'all something. One of my favorite things about people reading my book is they're like, I love how black it is. And I'm like, you damn right. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And my thing with traditional publishing, and this will be my gripe until the end of time, until it changes. I don't want books where the token Black person is the main character. I don't want any more stories about Blackness as in relation to whiteness or it being, magical. Fudge that. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm not into it. I don't think it's interesting. I don't think it's innovative. I don't think it's mildly entertaining. I don't think it's good, period. And if the only way that you can write a story and get a certain demographic of people who control everything to sign off on it is if you center their ethnicity and in relation to your own, and you make that character really small and really minuscule in their own story, and you make them powerless in their own story, that is not interesting. If that is the best you can do, your best is not good enough, and I do not want it. But that is my gripe. That is why I prefer indie publishing. That is why I prefer fully Black stories, because it's just kind of like, it's not about the not having white people in it or not having other ethnicities in it. It's just about the fact that there are so many stories where Black characters, they're who they are is diminished, and the book is centered around whiteness and catering to it and like shrinking who you are to fit into these spaces that don't inherently want you. That it's just kind of like, I want stories where it's just like, no, this character is full and complete, and they're not changing or altering who they are to satisfy and to appease the little discomforts, I'll say, that other people have from simply existing in the same space as them. That's part of the reason why, like, no shade to Tracy Deonn, but that's part of the reason why I couldn't get into Legendborn. I was like, she is the only Black girl at a PWI, like the only one. She found no other Black people on that entire campus. I mean, I've been to Chapel Hill. I know what it looks like. I know what the demographic is like, but I'm like, for real, not one, not a single one. I don't know, homie. That's not what I'm into. That's not what I'm thinking about. That's not what I want to read. So I personally love it when people are like, they enjoy my book, because It is black and it's unapologetically black. That is what it is, and that's what my stories will continue to be. That makes my heart happy. And also when they pick up on the relationship between Brandy and Sarah, because some people see it different ways. And I am amused every single time, no matter who sees it what way. Some people get it, some people see it another way, and I'm cool with either way. I'm cool with every way you decide to take it. But I don't know.
You know how I feel about Sarah.
I know how a lot of people feel about Sarah. And I will say this, and I'm not going to tell you what people feel about it, but I have noticed that every black woman who reads the book feels the exact same way. And everyone who's not a black woman feels a different way. But who I wrote it for understands. And I'm grateful for that.
That's all that matters.
I am grateful for that.
That is all that matters.
Yeah. Amanda had a comment, and I lost it. She said it's not in the author's interest to have that long of a lead time. Look at the undead truth of us. I feel like the author was promoting hard, but it felt like it didn't pop off the way we all thought. Honestly, when you announce a book, I will give you, unless it's the second in a series, you got about 3 months of my attention before I'm over the book, and I don't want to hear nothing else about it. Anything beyond that, I'm just like, yeah, where's the book, homie, though? Like, you're telling me about it, but where's the book? Like, where is it? Show me the book. Let me purchase it.
Right. Like, I pre-ordered that book, and then when she was crying, talking about, oh, this is so horrible, and my book won't be, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I sent her a DM and said, I would love to have you on, my show. I pre-ordered your book and everything. And she was like, I would absolutely love that. That's what she said in the comments. And then I DM'd her and said, in the comments, I said, well, I'll send you a DM so that you can send me your email so we can set up a time for the show. And I sent her a DM and nothing. So.
Well, I have my opinions on that, but I'm going to save that for behind a paywall because
after chat.
Yeah, but I really do. I did like the Undead Truth of Us. I did think it was.
I have it. I'm still gonna read it because I want to read it, but I'm just saying that
there is an etiquette for acting on the internet, and also Mickey is here. Hello, friend. I'm glad you could make it. But yeah. Kids are so much better marketers than those with professional degrees. Look at Lil Nas X. Yeah. Honestly, because the thing is, and I think this is kind of the thing that kind of gets me about marketing on the internet in general, is that the people who are the most successful are people who are literally just being themselves, genuinely being themselves and exasperating it. So like when there's this creator, her name is Katie. I want to say she was like the originator of the people like having multiple personalities and like talking to yourself. She's really light skinned, got curly hair. She's like a psychologist or whatever. And she talked about how like she was depressed and she like started talking to herself and like, so she had her brain and her heart. And then she had like her logic or whatever and her lady parts and all of them like having a conversation together. And it's like, she started doing that and then other people started doing that and then it took off, And it's just like, yeah, but she was just authentically being herself. Lil Nas X is just authentically being himself in a public spotlight. And the thing is, when you are just doing something that comes naturally to you, you can continue to do it for a long, long time. And you can continue to do it well because you're not mimicking anybody. You were just doing what comes naturally. The Council, that is what it's called. I haven't seen it in a while, but The Council. There's also this white girl on TikTok. Her name is Chris. She also does these little skits with like her family where you have like you have these parents and then you have the little kid and then you have like the middle daughter, and she's just like, when you're the middle child and you have a much younger sibling and you get a different mom. The older siblings talk about like, wow, she's so mean, like the little brother's throwing a tantrum and the older kids are like, oh, here she come, get ready, about to get knocked out into next week. Mom comes and she's like, okay, it's fine, you'll get another 5 minutes with your tablet. And the older kids are looking at each other like, what just happened?
That's because they tired.
Either way, the fact is, as a child, it feels unfair. As the child, it feels unfair. Like, wait a second, hold up. Who are you and what have you done with my mother? Return her immediately. Thank you. But yeah, also Sweetie, I can never say her name. So I just read it in my head. Yeah, read, love, listen is correct. I'll say that.
I think it's Sweetie is how she said. I don't know.
Sweetie. Also, Meg Thee Stallion in her own way. And the fact that she loves anime and she does her cosplays as different characters and she incorporates into her music, but nobody ever questions her about it. They just rock with it. Like, when you're being generic, or not generic, genuine, I don't know. It just works better. I feel like a lot of authors get on social media with the intention to market and not to get to know their readers. And then they're like, why aren't you guys buying my book? And it's like, no one cares about you, Janet. Sit down and be quiet, okay? Be interesting. Grow personality and maybe someone will read your book.
Woo, child.
Honestly, because if I see, part of the reason why, especially on TikTok, I do not follow traditionally published authors is because a lot of them have no personality. They're just like, this is my book and I traditionally published and I'm Black. Look how hard many hoops I had to jump through to get here. And it's like, great. And?
Who cares?
And? What's the book about? What do you do? What is in the book?
Is your book any good?
Is it good though?
Is the story that you wrote actually the story that made it to print, or did they completely change the whole thing?
I don't even care about that. Is it good, though? Did you have skill to pursue this? Or did you just cater to the gatekeepers and they let you in? Because honestly, it's not hard to get in a club, you guys. Sometimes you can just pay the bouncer and they let you in. That doesn't mean that you deserve to be there. Just, I'm going to let that go. But I think it's interesting. I think it is interesting. But... you guys,
5:06.
It is. We have been here for an hour, so this has been fun. We held out as long as we could, but we are going to take this over to the after chat. So if you would like to join us, talk with us, hang out, then for sure join the Melanin Library Patreon. Good Lord, cannot talk. Melanin Library Patreon. $5 gets you in, and it supports the Melanin Library as a free resource. If you don't know what it is, go to melaninlibrary.com. There is a link down in the description box below, but it's an online database of books written by Black authors. It takes about $3,000 a year to run, and the Patreon helps to make sure that it stays up and running. And I ain't got to pay for it out of my own pocket, because that ain't the move. So, that being said... thank you guys so much for being here, for being on this episode of the Melanin Chat, for rocking with us for all 3 seasons of the Melanin Chat, and for coming to hang out with us. Like I said, this may not be the end forever, but it's definitely the end for right now. So you guys are the best. We appreciate you. There are links for absolutely everything down in the description box below. Grab my book, grab Audra's book once it's re-released, and... listen to Audra's podcast. Audra, is there anything you like to say to the people before I sign off for the last time?
It's been a joy being with y'all, venting with y'all. Y'all are my community. I'll still see y'all on Discord. I need to do better about I read stuff, I just don't comment. But, it's a joy to always have this space to share with y'all, and we'll still have it in the Discord. So, but Chelsea, thank you so much for allowing me the honor of being your co-host.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm going to say, because I'm going to start crying. So,
well, don't cry. Okay. That being said, you guys, this is it for real. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications. The Melanin Chat will not be happening, but I will still be uploading videos to the YouTube channel, specifically the podcast. So if you have not listened to the Written Melanin podcast, I do talk about writing, I talk about books, and I talk about things that are just going on and being an indie author in general. And I have some pretty cool people on the podcast as well. Amanda has come on, Antoine Bandelli is also coming on, Joya Goffney was on, and as soon as I can get Audra to agree to it and sign up via my Calendly, she's also going to be coming on the podcast. And there are video versions of it if you would like to watch. So.
I didn't know you wanted me on a podcast.
I done asked you 5 times and you done ghosted me and I just stopped asking because I was just
do not remember anything about that, ma'am, because I would have been on. Been on.
Okay. We're not going to get to argument right now. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I hope your days are lovely and your books are interesting.